Testing, testing. Can anyone hear me out there? Testing, testing. Can anyone hear me? Hopefully so. What's up? Your boy Budget Bill. And today, or should I say yesterday, we had some amazing news that came out from the White House referring to the President Donald J. Trump, in which there was a massive executive order that ended up getting signed by the president. I know a lot of people don't necessarily like what the president is doing, but then on the other side, a lot of people love what President Trump is doing for the United States. And we want to go ahead and talk about it real quick. But before we get started, if you can hear me okay, please press the number 1 in the chat for me. I would appreciate it. If you can't hear me or you can't see me, please press the number 5. Hopefully you guys can hear me. And before we get started, if you could, make sure that you subscribe to the channel as well as hit the like button on this video. I would really appreciate it. But anyways, like I said, yesterday was an amazing day. It was an amazing day for the United States, an amazing day for President Trump, as well as amazing day for a lot of Americans, as well as some people in China. We have the United States ended up finally making a deal or a preliminary deal with China related to the tariffs that has been going on for the last 30 days or so. We all know that the tariffs for China administered by the United States ended up going up to around 145%, which was a huge number, which obviously no one can afford to buy products from China at these particular prices. But over the weekend, specifically on Sunday leading into the morning of Monday morning, the United States made an announcement saying that we have now come to an agreement with China in which we are agreeing to go ahead and slash the reciprocal tariffs, which is a major step in the right direction. This is going to ease the tension related to the trade war that is going on right now. As I stated previously, Donald Trump ended up going up as much as 145% tariffs on the imports coming from China, and now those have been lowered once again. Now this is huge, guys, because a lot of people, their businesses, they were pretty much seeing their businesses about to be shut down. With these types of tariffs at 145%, no business can stay in business paying these type of amounts, getting products directly from China. And as we all know, which a lot of us don't necessarily want to talk about it, but majority of the products here in the United States, also, let's say you have a cup on your desk or your computer mouse or anything on your desk. It was probably made in China. So with these particular tariff prices of 145%, no one was going to be able to stay in business paying this amount of money to get their products imported into the United States so that they can sell them on Amazon. But the good news is that Trump and his administration team have officially made a huge deal bringing these two together, the United States and China, and they have made a deal in which they are going to be pausing the tariffs, the reciprocal tariffs, for at least the next 90 days. Take a look at this right here where it says that the world's two biggest economies have agreed to a 90-day pause on most of their levies after a first round of trade talks that ended up happening in Switzerland over the weekend. Now, we do know that Donald Trump was not necessarily there, but he was a participant of these particular meetings. But the United States and China said on Monday that they have agreed to a 90-day pause on most of the tariffs that they have imposed on each other since last month. This ended up sending the stock market soaring on Monday. So yes, the U.S. tariffs on China imports will be cut to 30% from the previous 145%. while China's levies on U.S. imports will be cut to 10% from 125%. The two countries made a joint statement on Monday. Now, this announcement comes after officials from two countries met in Geneva, Switzerland over the weekend for their first face-to-face talks regarding the tariffs, which began mounting after President Donald Trump's April the 2nd announcement of sweeping global duties. But anyways, guys, this is some huge news. This is going to affect everyone. A lot of people are super excited about this. I know 30% is still a lot, but when you look at it coming down from 145%, this is a huge deal. Now, notice I said this is only a 90-day pause. They still have to meet more in order to get a real agreement in place that we can look for the near future. So, but right now, 90 days. So this is some good news because we don't have to worry about Donald Trump tweeting random news out the blue and sending the stock market into a complete waterfall. So this is obviously some promising news that we are hearing. And right here it says that unlike other U.S. trading partners, Beijing responded by imposing retaliatory tariffs and other non-tariff measures on Washington that quickly escalated. And now those things have been brought back down once again. So like I said, this is some huge news. And like I said, the stock market ended up doing a fantastic job on Monday. The stock market ended up surging after this particular news that they were slashing the tariffs. The Dow Jones ended up jumping up 1,200 points. Amazon, Apple, Nike, other companies, majority of the companies on the stock market ended up roaring on Monday. This was some huge news, guys. So we are definitely excited to see that. Kudos to Donald Trump for finally making things a little bit better from how you ruined them and made them worse when you put these 145% tariffs on our products that we receive from China. So anyways, we at least have 90 days that we don't necessarily have to worry about the tariffs increasing. So kudos to Donald Trump and the Trump administration. That also ended up strengthening the dollar. The dollar value ended up going up as well on this particular China and U.S. news. This is also eased some of the growth fears in which the entire economy, people have been nervous, have been scared, have been worried because they don't necessarily know if the company that they work for is going to be shut down because majority of their products come from China as well. So this has also pretty much given us a lot of relief. I would love to get your thoughts on this. Are you excited about this news, or it doesn't necessarily affect you? I know me myself, I order a lot of products from China, my cell phone case, my chargers to my cell phone, and so many other things, guys. But I want to know what you guys think about it. Type in the chat for me. Let me know what you think and how you feel about this news from Donald Trump. I know he started it and now he is sort of finishing it. But anyways, it is some good news and we definitely want to celebrate while we can. Let me know down below in the comment section or the chat for me, guys. But anyways, guys, moving on. You want to know what else Donald Trump did on Monday? Now, this is also some major news, guys. This is some breaking news in which Donald Trump on Monday signed an executive order, and a lot of people are really excited about this, especially our Social Security recipients, those individuals that are on SSI, SSDI, VA beneficiaries, all of the above, our elderly individuals, our seniors, anyone that takes medication on a daily basis or medications over a certain period of time. You are excited about this executive order that just came from Donald Trump. Take a look at this right here, guys. Yes, yesterday on Monday, like I said, May the 12th, Donald Trump signed an executive order. Now, this is a special one. This is one that will go down in the books because Americans have been calling for this for years from multiple of the previous presidents that we have had. And no one, I mean, no other president has done anything about the prices of medication drug prices in this country. And now Trump has done something about it. He actually went a step further and signed an executive order. Take a look at this right here, where Donald Trump signs an executive order aiming to cut U.S. drug prices, and he wants them to match the same prices that these drug companies are charging in other countries. Because I don't know if you guys know or not, but the prices that we pay for drug prices in the United States are much higher than what other countries are paying for the same drug from the same drug company. And now Donald Trump has stood up and said that we have got to do better. We are changing it as of today. There is a new sheriff in town, and we are going to fix these drug prices. But anyways, Donald Trump revived a controversial policy that aims to slash drug costs by tying the prices of some medicines in the United States to the significantly lower ones that are abroad. Trump signed an executive order including several different actions to renew that effort, known as the most favored nation policy. It is Trump's latest effort to try to rein in the U.S. prescription drug prices, which are 2 to 3 times higher on average than those that are in other developed nations. Yes, Donald Trump on Monday revived a controversial policy that is going to slash the drug prices by tying the prices to the same price that other people are paying in other countries. He signed this executive order, including several different actions to renew this particular effort. In a statement, Trump said basically what we're doing is equalizing. And he also went on, if you watch the video, he also said that he created that word equalizing. But anyways, that word has been around for a very long time. But anyways, those are the words from Donald Trump. He said during a press conference on Monday, he said, look, we are going to pay the lowest price there is in the world. We will get whoever is paying the lowest price. That's the price that we're going to get as well. So if Switzerland is paying $3 for some high blood pressure medication, then the United States is going to pay $3 for that same medication. No more, no longer will the US be paying $30 for the same medication that they paid $3 for in another country. So anyways, this is some huge news. He said, look, we will get whoever is paying the lowest price. That's the price we are going to get. White House officials did not disclose what medications the order will apply to, but said that it will impact the commercial market as well as Medicare and Medicaid. So again, if you are on one of those, Medicare or Medicaid, you are going to receive major benefits from this. Now, this is something that Donald Trump talked about during his campaign trail. He actually ordered his Republican fellows and colleagues not to raise the price of Medicare and Medicaid. He told them not to do that. Don't touch it. He also said, don't touch the benefits of our Social Security recipients. He told his Republicans not to do anything until he gets in office. And now he is in office. He is doing something that is indirectly going to affect, in a good way, our Medicare and Medicaid recipients. This is some very huge news. They also said on the Monday's announcement that there will be broader than a similar policy that Trump tried to push during the first term, which only applied to Medicare Part B drugs. This is going to be even bigger than that. Officials added that the administration will have a particular focus on drugs that have the largest disparities and the largest expenditures, which could include popular weight loss and diabetes treatments called GLP-1 drugs. But anyways, like I said, so far it's unclear how effective this particular policy will be at lowering costs for patients. In a social media post on Monday, Trump claimed drug prices will be cut by 59% or more. Plus, this is huge. But anyways, guys, like I said, this is some great news. This is some huge news. He ended up signing this massive executive order in front of a lot of
Of
people, the
course, 10 times
reporters
more.
and everyone, as you can see right here on the screen. This went on for about an hour and 41 minutes. You guys know how Donald Trump can, once he gets started talking, he is just going to continue to keep going on and going on. But then at the end of it, he ended up going to the table and he ended up signing this executive order. He signed it in front of everyone as he continued to speak as well. So again, we saw it right in front of us. We are super excited about this. And then also I went on to go to the White House's website just to see exactly what they posted, to see what they actually said. And you can look right here on the White House's webpage, whitehouse.gov. They made a statement, said delivering most favored nation prescription drug pricing to American patients as of May the 12th of 2025. This was the latest executive order signed by President Trump. But anyways, guys, this is some huge news. Also, I went on you can see on this website where this was the highlight all over the world, Trump's executive order to lower drug prices. But this particular article says that it may not do much of exactly what it is intended to do, but again, we do have the news. We do want to celebrate while we can. Definitely be thankful. Definitely be excited about it. Also on the White House's Twitter page, this was rather interesting because they ended up retweeting one of Trump's tweets that came out as well. It says right here, Donald Trump's tweet said the drug prices to be cut by 59% plus. Gasoline, energy, groceries, and all other costs are down. There is no inflation. Love, DJT for Donald J. Trump. But anyways, the White House retweeted it and said Mondays have never felt so good. LFG. Let's freaking go. I definitely don't want to say the other word because we don't want to ruin this particular channel. So anyways, guys, like I said, this is some huge news. A lot of people are praising Donald Trump once again. You know, he loves that. And yeah, as you can see, even one of his foes, Mark Cuban, which is a huge Democrat, which definitely was not pushing for Donald Trump to win the election. However, Mark Cuban does know when to thank someone for what they are doing, especially if they are doing a good job. So, anyways, it looks like Mark Cuban spoke last month because the news was coming out that Donald Trump was trying to make this happen. He said right here, where I believe this statement was from Donald Trump. He said, look, I'm here to help, according to Donald Trump, but he gets praise from Mark Cuban, which is worth around $5.7 billion. But he got praise from Mark Cuban for the latest healthcare order because he knew that this could potentially be happening over the next couple of weeks or so. And Mark Cuban is extending strong support for President Donald Trump, his recent healthcare executive order. In a surprising political alignment, Cuban praised the move as a step in the right direction towards much needed drug reform. He called for a complete overhaul of the U.S. healthcare system, citing the high cost of prescription medications. Cuban, who has recently been in the sports headlines for his comments on the Dallas Mavericks surprising Luka Doncic trade, extended his support for the president of the United States on his recent post on Twitter, or known as X. So yes, Mark Cuban extended his support to Donald J. Trump for making this happen. If you don't know, in addition to that, Mark Cuban has his own drug company in which he focuses on selling your typical drugs for much lower prices, especially if they are generic. I believe his motto is, if you do take a generic drug, you definitely want to look at his drug company because he guarantees that you can get it much cheaper. I believe the stance is pretty much majority of generic drugs from Mark Cuban's site is $7. I believe that's what it is. I believe the website is Cost Plus Drugs, but you can easily Google it. Definitely want to check that out in your spare time because you could get your drugs for a little bit cheaper, and you can support Mark Cuban if you like him. But anyways, it's just another option to get lower drug prices. But with this executive order, we should start seeing that more and more with other drugs as well. So anyways, guys, like I said, a very memorable Monday. What a way to start the month of May as well. We have all sorts of great information coming out, and I definitely want to bring it to you. So Hopefully you guys will stick around as we reboot this channel, Budget Bill. I love all of you guys. If you can, comment down below if you haven't already. Outside of all of that, I am going to see you guys on the next video. Thank you. Have a great day.